CRF 150R, another Honda. It's a 2018 RB, which stands for the big wheel. It's the R and the RB. Big wheel version. It's completely stock. It's massive. It's like it's got power like the 65, the 2-stroke, but it's smooth. It's smooth power, like your 4-strokes are. This one does have a clutch. It's liquid cooled. It's got fully adjustable race suspension, just like the other KTM. Pretty big bike. You gonna sit on it?
I'll let you sit on it. Gang, this is the 4-stroke version of the race bike. If you got a kid that likes to ride motocross or likes to motocross tracks, likes jumping, this is the 150R big wheel, or the 150R Expert, you may hear them called. But really nice setup, really nice setup. It has a tremendous amount of torque. You can sit on it, Katie. A tremendous amount of torque in that bike. And like I say, you can set the suspension up, you know, to adjust it to your weight for the race sag or what have you. What would you say the difference between the 125 4-stroke Caden and the 150RB? What would you say the difference is?
Well, this one's a lot louder, a little more rowdy. It's the power's about the same. It's smooth. It definitely has a little bit more off of 2nd and 3rd, but I still feel like, to me, the 2-stroke is a little bit more wild. It's just smooth.
In comparing, comparing the 65 2-stroke to the 150R, you'd actually compare it probably to a 85
yeah.
2-stroke. But I mean, the comparison, if somebody's looking at a 125 or a 150, what would you say the difference between just the 125 and the 150 are?
Well, this one's a few inches taller, a little bit more maintenance, just because it's liquid cooled, and it is a race bike, so it'll take a little bit more. It's not electric start, so you do have that. So you got to kick it, and this one has a little bit different style of tension in your chain, which is not really a problem. And it comes stock with the chain guide, because when you're racing, you definitely don't want any chain popping off.
Always talk about chain guides. You have your fair share of chain tightening if you ride a lot. I'm gonna put my perspective on it. Between the 150RB, if you're getting a bike for a child or wanting to ride it yourself, this bike is very comfortable suspension. It has tremendous torque low end. I'm talking tremendous torque. Wide open throttle. She's fast, there ain't no doubt about it, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, low end gears, this thing will get it, son. I mean, she'll roll. It is carbureted engine.
No fuel injection.
No fuel injection. No electric start. Like I say,
about 22 horsepower.
Yeah, 20. This is over 20 horsepower. And if you like motocross, if you got a kid that's into coming out of the 65, moving up in motocross or moving up in age and likes to race competitively, they may be looking at one of these bikes. And like I say, dang, that thing's got some power.
The suspension's a lot stiffer in the front.
Suspension, you can set it up.
You can set it up, but
how you want it.
It's like a race bike. It's pretty stiff.
Matter of fact, you can set the suspension up on these for any terrain you're riding, whether you're riding sand, mud, hard ground, how much you weigh, how much you know. You can set the suspension up for whatever you want to do. We rode yesterday. The track was muddy. It was pure mud, and you couldn't get all the power out of this bike. But gee whiz, man, it would
Get down.
It will get down. It's impressive, very impressive. And if the track's right, and you got a kid that can that's been in the 2-stroke version and steps to the 4-stroke racing version, it is mighty peppy. The difference, I guess, the difference between the CRFs in the R version and the F version, I'm gonna say there's a big difference there. Yeah. My personal experience and what I've seen, the R is a lot more peppy. F is more mellow. R's got a lot more pep. Wouldn't you say, bud?
Yeah.
A little bit more maintenance on this bike. Probably a lot more maintenance. But if you got it set up right, if you got it set for your ride, if you got it set for your weight and how you ride,
Smooth.
it is fun. I would say these bikes are, well, I don't know, if you got it set up, I was just thinking about, you know, how smooth they are for each rider. Anything else on that one, bud?
No.
CRF 150 RB.